So what is an old folks moment? I'll tell you what an old folks moment is. An old folks moment is the Einsteinian definition of insanity. Let me explain. I think it was Einstein. Fucking correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but the definition of insanity being performing the same task multiple times and expecting a different result is the definition of insanity. So I had a truly insane moment before leaving this weekend to go up to the deer camp. I've got a couple of gun safes. I got more than one, and the combination on the front, it's actually a dial combination, not a push button combination. I'm not that fancy. So one of my safes is right, left, right, and another one of my safes is left, right, left. Two different locations, blah, 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 whatever. And then amidst that, one of the numbers on my safe is 70. And for whatever fucking reason, between mixing up which is right, left, right, and which one's left, right, left, instead of going to the 70, for some reason, my brain was randomly going to fucking 75. No lie. It took me 15 fucking minutes to open up my gun safe. Now that could be why people have gone to push button, because you get older and you're so fucked up you can't put in a gun safe combination. But maybe in a way this is a good thing, because if I'm that fucked up, thank God, or thank myself, that the combination on the front has to be entered so precisely that you cannot open it if you're one off, or if you go back to it. Like, you gotta roll to the numbers the very first time for the gates to lay properly. I've never been so happy and sad all at the same time. I literally had to go back to the card, look at the numbers, and then, I don't have the original card to say which safe this is, if it was the left, right, left safe or the right, left, right safe. And so then you get on the internet, but these safes are 20 fucking years old, so naturally all my shit's old. It was a wild experience. Wild. And then I have that, I don't have it so much happen with computers, but I see it with one of my teammates, my AA. I've talked about her before. She's in her early 60s, and computers for her are just the absolute worst. She's terrified of computers, and it doesn't help me to tell her at all, but computers in the workplace have been around since the mid-90s. I still remember my first job. I mean, we had a computer login to. Now it was my boss at the time, one of my first mentors. He was a lot more tech savvy, but computers were around, and it's how I got into. When I got started at the dealership, there was this big push from General Motors to employ younger individuals, because all of the service manuals and service information stuff was all going to be computerized, so they needed strong computer skills. So there was this big push, and I think that was how I got the head start in the automotive career. Which my current apprentice, he asked me I chose automotive. I don't know why he asked me that. My ego tells me he asked me that because I tend to give off the impression, like because I'm mentoring him, I'm very cautious with what weaknesses I show him that I have. I do show him that I have weakness, but I'm cautious in that. So maybe he has the impression that I fucking could have done anything, right? And I don't know if I've told y'all about this either. Originally, I wanted to be a Green Beret in, U.S. Army Special Forces. Originally, this is youngest of the young Ron. Later on enlisting in the Marine Corps, being drummed out when my mental illness was exposed. But originally, wanted to be a Green Beret. And, in this moment, as I'm just walking through my shop and this youngster asked me this question, and the fucked up thing was, when he asked me that, my other guy, who was general service, just promoted him to the line, and then my second guy, they're like, he didn't like looking at me intently as I'm explaining this situation. And in the moment, how can you explain that? If it was left to you, you wanted to be in the woods. You wanted to be behind enemy lines. But you have friends, you have a dad who's a pilot, you love airplanes. The movie Top Gun comes out, fucks with your mind. There's only Navy ROTC where you're going to school, so you only do Navy. Now everything's Navy, and your grandpa's Navy, and he was on an aircraft carrier, and everything's the plane, and then your other grandpa is like, you don't want to be a Green Beret because they leave those guys for dead, and blah, 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 because of SOG, and this and that, and the other thing. How do you explain that in a moment? And then explain to them, well, in high school, when I was originally enlisting, I was all set. I was leaning towards Marine Corps Reserve, but instead, because my parents wouldn't sign off, because I was graduating high school early, my parents wouldn't sign off custody to the Marine Corps so that I could join at 17. And instead of listening to what it was my dad was trying to say, I took that as he didn't approve of what I did, and I just lost my fucking mind over the whole thing. Followed my girlfriend to a school that didn't have an alternate program that, I thought architecture. Meanwhile, I wanted to be a fucking Green Beret. It was always that. Like a fucking ninja spaceman. Because, I got this one buddy. You've seen him on here before. There really are truly two kinds of people in this world. When we're talking people, actual warriors. You got ninjas and you got pirates. Who's who? What's what? It's very unusual that you run into multiple ninjas. And unfortunately, I'm of the ninja ilk, not the pirate ilk, and surrounded by pirates. I mean, I couldn't explain to him in a way to comprehend, don't follow a piece of ass when you have a higher calling. Now, do things work out for the right? Has Odin written the scale of your life already? I say yes. I say yes, as we are in this moment. because I wouldn't want to change anything. And let's say my mental condition, or wherever I lay on the spectrum, if I were to have followed my original childhood dream, and if by some reason that condition couldn't be exposed, which I'm very confident that the training that's incurred for those people, it really should shake it out. I mean, Marine Corps Basic was enough to shake it out of me. So I can only imagine, I might have been able to fuck and bullshit my way through, say, Army Basic, but I think, once I went into I can't even think of what it's called right now, but Green Beret selection. I think it would have shaken out, or would have been exposed in SEER school or something like that before Robin Sage happened, or maybe not. Maybe the situation of me as a youth going through all these different things and fucking myself up mentally, too much porn, I don't fucking know. Maybe it would have been fine, maybe it wouldn't have, and maybe I would have let people down at the most critical moment. I will tell you, for those of us who, pre-war, non-deployed, out before 2001, it's been a struggle at times. It really has. And thankfully, there's been other instances to where I've been able to feel that I've contributed to an extent and have done my part. But who's to say? Who's really to say? So do I explain all that to him? But I gave him the most honest, quickest answer I could in the moment. And that is to say, followed my girlfriend to college. College didn't work out. I dropped out of college. Figured fixing cars would be easy. And and that's the short truth of a sub-chapter. That is the story of my life, which somehow maybe ended up interesting. Beats the shit out of me, man. I don't know. My brain is such fucking Swiss cheese that I think instead of the Lambdog 76 channel being for my daughter, maybe it's even just for myself. I don't know. 'Cause I fucking run across shit that I've got from back in the day, and I don't know where it came from. I don't remember where it came from. Like, I've got paperwork and shit like that. I don't know. I can't remember where I got it from. So, good luck to me, right? And, Mike, you might appreciate this. I mean, I don't want you to feel like you're the only one here, but it makes me wonder, I'm not even, say barely 50, and my brain's all fucked up like this now. Concerns me where I'm going to be moving forward, We'll see. We'll see. In the meantime, I'll thank y'all for listening to my bullshit. I think these vlogs have been decent therapy.